It's 11 at night, and the house is finally quiet. You were tired at 8. You were nodding off in your chair, and now you're lying flat on your back, wide awake. And your mind picks this exact moment to hand you everything. A call you didn't return, something you said years ago, whether you locked the back door. So you try harder, you shut your eyes tighter, and that makes it worse. Here's what almost nobody mentions. There's a window every evening when your body is built to keep you awake. It has a name. First, let's put down the idea that this is simply what happens now. That falling asleep takes longer because of the years. Researchers pooled 65 studies, more than 3,500 people, all measured in sleep laboratories. The time it takes to fall asleep does creep up, but far less than you'd expect. What genuinely changes is the middle of the night. Less deep sleep, more time awake after you've already been asleep. The front door of sleep stays roughly where it was. So if you're lying there for an hour, that hour isn't your age arriving. The second thing to put down is bigger, and it's the one that keeps people stuck. The belief that falling asleep is something you can do, if you focus hard enough. Sleep isn't that kind of thing. It belongs with blushing and yawning and remembering a name. You can set up the conditions. You cannot give the order. And the harder you push, the more awake you get. So if it isn't the years, and it isn't willpower, what is it? Two things decide whether you fall asleep tonight, and they run on separate clocks. The first you already feel. The longer you're awake, the more pressure to sleep builds. 16 hours in, it's heavy. That system only goes one way, up all day. The second is the one people miss. Your body also runs a 24-hour clock, and in the evening, that clock doesn't wind you down. It does the opposite. In the hours before your usual bedtime, it produces its strongest push towards staying awake of the entire day. This was found in 1986. Volunteers were put on a strange schedule. 7 minutes of darkness, 13 minutes of light around the clock. Each time they were asked either to try to fall asleep or to try to stay awake. In the 2 to 3 hours before their normal bedtime, they couldn't fall asleep. And it made no difference which instruction they'd been given. The ones trying to sleep and the ones trying to resist got the same result. Sit with that because it's the whole video. In that window, your effort doesn't change the outcome. Not the amount of it, not even the direction of it. The researcher called that stretch the forbidden zone. And then something better happens. It doesn't fade slowly. Around your usual bedtime, the alerting signal drops away, and all that pressure you've built since morning finally gets through. He called that the sleep gate. It isn't a slope, it's a door and it opens. So put yourself back in that bed. You went up at 9:30 because you were tired earlier, but your gate doesn't open until 11. For 90 minutes, you're lying in the dark inside a window your body is actively defending. And a mind doesn't sit quietly through an empty 90 minutes. So it fills the space in the dark, where everything sounds larger. Then the last piece, and this one builds over months. Night after night, you lie in that bed awake and frustrated, awake and waiting. Your brain is very good at learning pairs, and what it's quietly learning is this. The bed means being awake. People notice it in an odd way. They drop off instantly in the armchair, then walk into the bedroom and find themselves alert. So, a door that hasn't opened, a mind filling the weight, effort making it worse, and a bed taught the wrong lesson. Which leaves one question: why now and not 20 years ago? Something does change after 50, and it isn't what most people assume. You didn't lose the ability, the timing moved. That 24-hour clock tends to shift earlier with the years. The whole thing slides forward. Sleepy earlier in the evening, awake earlier in the morning. It's one of the best documented changes there is. Now watch what that does to an ordinary evening. Around 8, the tiredness arrives, and it's real. You're in the chair, the television's on, and you go under for 20 minutes, maybe 40. But remember the pressure that's been building since morning. That doze just spent a good part of it. And here's the harder half. Because the whole clock slid earlier, your gait slid earlier with it. The moment your body was ready came and went while you were in the chair. By 11, two things have gone wrong at once. You're carrying less pressure than you should be. And the door you were waiting for opened 2 hours ago. You didn't fail to sleep. You missed an appointment. One more piece. When work ended, the alarm clock ended with it and bedtime started drifting. You end up offering your body 10 hours of opportunity for 7 hours of sleep. The 3 left over go to lying awake. None of that is damage. All of it is timing. And timing is the most workable thing on the list. Start with the one that costs nothing and changes the most. Pick your wake-up time and hold it. Same time every day, weekends included, whatever kind of night you had. That's your anchor. It feels backwards to fix the morning in order to fix the night, but that's the direction it works in. Second, and this is the hard one, go to bed later than you want to. If you're getting in at 9:30 and lying awake until 11, those 90 minutes aren't helping. Move your bedtime toward the hour you actually fall asleep. Third, if you watch the one about waking at 3 in the morning, you already know this rule. Don't stay in bed awake. Roughly 20 minutes, no clock watching, just go by feel. If sleep hasn't come, get up, sit somewhere else in dim light, and go back when you're genuinely sleepy. It stops the bed collecting evidence. And then the one I'd hand you first. It's free, and it works tonight. At Oxford, 41 people with insomnia were split 3 ways on the same night. One group was told to distract themselves. Think about anything else. One group was given nothing. The third was told to build a scene in their mind and make it interesting enough to stay inside. The general distraction group did no better than the people given nothing at all. The imagery group fell asleep faster, reported fewer intrusive thoughts, and found them less distressing. Emptying your mind doesn't work. There's nothing to hold, so the worry walks straight back in. Giving it a job does. Not a dull job, an absorbing one. And if that sounds like a lot, the whole package has a name. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. The guidelines put it first, ahead of any pill. Which brings us to the pills. Melatonin, because it's everywhere. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine reviewed the evidence and recommended against it for insomnia. Not because it's dangerous. Because weighed against harm, the benefit wasn't there. Counting sheep. That was the general distraction group at Oxford. Too dull to hold you. You finish counting and go straight back to the back door. Now, 2 things people give up for no good reason. Evening exercise. 23 controlled experiments, and the finding is clear. Exercising in the evening doesn't stop you falling asleep. The exception is something hard finishing in the last hour, with your heart still up as you get into bed. Otherwise, the walk after dinner is fine. Keep it. And the big one, going to bed earlier. It sounds responsible, and it's the opposite. It walks you straight into the forbidden zone. So when is a bad night worth mentioning to your doctor? The line specialists use is practical, 3 or more nights a week for 3 months or longer, and it's costing you something in the daytime. But here's the one I'd most want you to hear, because it gets missed constantly. If, when you lie down in the evening, your legs want to move, an uncomfortable urge that's hard to put into words. Worse when you're still, worse at night, and it eases the moment you get up and walk. That's a recognized condition called restless legs. It turns up in around 1 in 10 people over 60, twice as common in women, and it's badly underrecognized. In one clinic study, of the 103 people who met the criteria, 9 had been told. Say it out loud at your appointment, because there's a simple blood test that often matters. Iron. Among people with insomnia, low iron stores showed up in about 1/3 of those with restless legs, against 6% of those without. And if low mood or loss of interest sits alongside the sleep, mention both together. They travel as a pair. So here's the one thing to do tonight. When you get into bed, don't try to clear your mind. Pick a place instead, somewhere you know well. A walk, a garden, a room in a house you used to live in. Go through it slowly in detail. What's underfoot, what the light is doing, what you'd hear. If your thoughts wander off, that's expected. Just come back and carry on walking. You're not trying to bore yourself to sleep. You're giving your mind something interesting enough that it stops reaching for the back door and the phone call. And remember what's going on while you do it. You're not broken and you haven't run out of sleep. You're waiting at a door that opens on its own schedule, and today was about standing in the right place when it does. Now, that's a mind that won't go quiet, but there's a stranger version of this one. You walk into a room completely certain you came in for something, and the moment you cross the doorway, it's gone. That one isn't about sleep at all. That's next.